what AI tools have you? So you've used none. You've probably touched on them without realising.
Yeah, there's some AI tools that you're using on a day-to-day basis that are just embedded in your day-to-day life. But yeah, I'm not using them for business, and I don't think eventually I think I'll get there, but not as it stands at the moment. I think it's too embryonic. There's too many, like you said, security risks at the moment. I don't understand it enough, and at the moment, running a small business, I haven't got enough time to understand it enough, if that makes sense.
Time invested could save you time, though.
Potentially, but even you're still trialing it now with security and things, and what impact that's going to have on people's environments. What access does it have? I don't know. What when you download GPT, what happens to it on your laptop? What access does it gain? Because we've all installed apps on our phones, we've all installed apps on our laptops, and all we say is allow. Well, what have I allowed to? What access has it got?
Yeah.
And that's my issue.
You're using Gemini.
Yeah, so I'm using Gemini, and a lot of the software that I use around podcasting, so specifically around editing, they have some kind of AI built in.
Right.
So I'm using software called Descript, and they have AI, and it's actually very... so I don't use it around video, but what it can do, again, very well is sort of almost like touch-ups, but maybe not the ones that you think. So it does one with eye contact, so it will make sure that you're looking at the camera, even if there was a moment where you looked away at your notes, for example. And it can stitch in, so Descript does everything around the transcript, but what it can do is, if you trip over a word, it can use the rest of your voice, because it's been listening to it, to just stitch over that, so you actually haven't tripped over that word. So there's little touches in it, which I haven't used them for my own projects, but I think those are clever ways to use AI.
Yeah.
And also, I will fully admit, it does things like write your show notes or your YouTube description. And I did use that. We lost our YouTube channel, and I had to rebuild it yesterday from scratch. And I used that as a first version. So it's giving me all the timestamps and the chapters, but I used that as a first version, which I copy and pasted and then rewrote. And what you see for things like that is it uses all the same words. We delve into so which bits of it are AI. So obviously I rewrote things like that. It was a insightful discussion. That's another one that it overuses, but it gives me some key points of a good draft, key points of what we talked about in this episode that I can then write around in a way that is our voice for the podcast. So there's little AI touches in pretty much every software I use now. It's always fun to have a go.
And I use HubSpot as a sort of sales and marketing CRM, and they've developed something called Breeze. That's their name for their sort of AI that they've built into the tool. And if you're searching for a prospect, you could search, and then you'd obviously have to go through notes and when did you call them, what was the last conversation, what was the email. Now it will just give you a sort of AI summary about John was interested in this back in 2019, you sent him 2 emails. So there's some nice features like that. But again, sometimes it can get it wrong as well. So I think it's like in beta mode at the moment. But I'm seeing some advantages with using that.